If you're considering trademarking your brand or offer name, you may be wondering, when is the best time to file your trademark? If so, this video is for you. Hi, I'm Casey, entertainment lawyer for Black creatives and entrepreneurs. And in this video, I'm going to share with you the best time to trademark your name. Now, before I dive into when to trademark a name and the things that you should consider when making that decision, I think it's important to understand why you should trademark a name, particularly on the federal level. So there are options to register a trademark with your state, but doing a federal trademark registration allows for you to have wider protections and rights across all 50 states, as well as give you some international IP protection as well. Now, I think it's also important to note here that federally registering your trademark is not a legal requirement. If you are using a name that is considered distinguishable of your goods and services, then you'll automatically have some rights to that name under common law. However, having a federal trademark registration allows you to put people on notice that you have this trademark and that you are using this mark in commerce. This helps to cut down on potential infringers and copycatters in the marketplace because people can easily search the USPTO, which is the United States Patent and Trademark Office. They're able to easily go check that database and see your trademark registration. And it also gives you priority and grants you additional rights and remedies in the event that you do need to bring some sort of legal action against someone for infringing on your trademark rights. So I hope that provides you with a little bit more context as to why it's so important to go ahead and federally register your trademark. Now, into the meat of what I want to talk about in this video, and that is when you should file for a trademark. Now, if you're in this process right now and you're doing some research already, then you probably have noticed that there are a lot of different opinions out there. Every attorney and non-attorney who's providing insight on this topic will have a different idea and opinion when it comes to when to actually file for and register a trademark at the federal level. Everything that I'm going to cover in this video are things that I've seen from my own personal experience in helping clients protect their intellectual property and filing for trademarks, and the things that I generally consider in determining when is the right time to go ahead and file that trademark. So the first thing is I consider, after I've confirmed that this name isn't going to infringe on anyone else's rights. So that's the first kind of thing in consideration that you want to make sure you are 100% clear on. You want to make sure that the name that you've chosen isn't something that conflicts with a registered or existing trademark in the marketplace, because you don't want to infringe on anyone else's rights. And you can identify this and get clarity on this by conducting a trademark clearance search and also understanding what types of names are actually trademarkable. So contrary to popular belief, not every name is something that can be trademarked. So in last week's video, I talk about the types of names that aren't considered trademarks and that won't receive federal trademark registration. And in the week prior to that, I talk about the process of conducting a trademark clearance search. So if you haven't already watched the last two videos, I strongly encourage you to go back, watch those two videos so you can have clarity around this first piece of the equation, which is making sure that the name you've chosen is something that can be trademarked, and is it something that infringes on someone else's rights. So once I've confirmed that this is something that's not going to infringe on anyone else's rights, the next thing that I like to consider on when to start the trademark process is once I've confirmed exactly how I'm going to use that name or trademark. And so that's confirming with my clients, how are they going to be using this name in the marketplace? What are the specific goods and services that you're going to be offering this name under? It's extremely important that you are clear on what those goods and services are before you start the trademark process, because trademark rights only give you protection under those specific categories and goods and services. So you want to be clear on what those are so that you also know how many categories you'll have to file under. Quick side note here, each category that you file under does require a separate application fee, and so it's important to understand and know how you're going to be using those goods and services. Now, the third thing that I consider in answering this question of when should I file my trademark is I always say once you're ready to really invest. You should be all in on this name or this offering. This should be something that you're not taking lightly, but instead it's a name that you really want to utilize to leave your mark in the marketplace. If you are kind of not sure if the name may change, or maybe you may decide to not offer these goods or services in the near future, then it wouldn't be a good idea to start this trademark process. Because trademarking is a process and it is an investment of your time and your money. So you want to consider how you plan to show up in the marketplace with this name for your goods and your services. If you are ready to invest, then now would be a good time to go ahead and register your trademark. Now, the last thing that I consider or that I tell people in making this decision on when to start the registration process is before you even start using it. So this may sound a little crazy or a little backwards, but if you're clear on the previous 3 steps that I just discussed, then you don't have to wait until you actually start using the trademark name in commerce before you can actually start the registration process. You can file what's known as an intent to use application to put people on notice that you are planning to use this trademark name to sell certain goods and services. Now, it's important to note here that you won't be able to officially register your trademark for those goods and services until you actually start using that name in commerce. So you'll have to provide additional information and evidence later on in the process to show the trademark office that you are now officially using this name in commerce. So without doing that, you won't be able to officially register. But by filing an intent to use application, this does give you priority in the line of those who may be filing for registrations of your particular trademark name. So I hope this video was helpful in kind of giving you an idea of the things that you should consider in determining when may be a good time to file your trademark and to move forward in that registration process. I really do hope that this has been helpful for you. And if so, be sure to share it with some other entrepreneurs and make sure that you like and subscribe to this YouTube channel so that you can get notified when I release new videos.